Hello, Wooden Toby here. We just passed the 9th anniversary of my YouTube channel. Additionally, around this time in 2021, I unveiled my LEGO Thomas, kicking off my LEGO collection, which has expanded immensely over the 3 years since. To commemorate the anniversary, and recently passing the 15,000 subscriber milestone, I'd like to walk you through my full collection, all 34 models. We'll keep it moving, but I'd like to highlight some of the model's key features and update you on any changes I've made since their original reveal. We'll start with the standard gauge engines. I'll cover the models in the order I built and revealed them, beginning with Thomas. Like I mentioned, I first showed off my LEGO Thomas for my channel's 6th anniversary in August 2021. I originally used origami paper for his lining and details, but I replaced it with far superior vinyl stickers the following summer. Since then, I've also added a tired face, given him a more detailed funnel, and made a minor structural change to his boiler support to avoid stressing the pieces. Thomas can be motorized with circuit cubes, and his running board can be dipped or flat, reflecting changes in his appearance over the course of the Railway series. I also have a Sir Topham Hatt minifigure, assembled at the same time as Thomas. Next, we'll look at Percy, who I built alongside Thomas and unveiled in August 2021. Like Thomas, his origami paper details were replaced with vinyl stickers. He's also received the more detailed funnel, which will be the case for many of my engines, and I just recently upgraded his valve gear, which I'll show off for the first time here. I moved his cylinder slightly forward, creating space for a second crosshead bar, represented by a piece of flex tube cut to size. For anyone curious, cutting flex tube is generally considered a so-called legal technique, since LEGO has used it in official sets. The new design is more accurate to Percy's look and more consistent with the other engines I built since. Percy is another Circuit Cubes motorizable engine. The next engine I built was James, who I revealed the following summer in June 2022. Although he was my first engine to have vinyl stickers from the start, I've since replaced his black lining with blue to match the later Railway series books, just because I decided that was the era I wanted to replicate with my models. Aside from minor changes to his front bogie and rods for improved running, James's only other update is the more detailed funnel, and he too is Circuit Cubes motorizable. We're on to Toby, who I built to celebrate my channel's 7th anniversary in August 2022. Not much has changed since his initial reveal, although I did give him a more accurate smokebox door shape when LEGO released an appropriate piece, and added an angry face. While filming this video, I also realized I can mix and match the pieces from Toby's two faces to create two additional expressions, which I'll call concerned and devious, perhaps not a very Toby-like emotion. Toby can be motorized with circuit cubes, and he runs faster than the other engines since the gear connection from the motor to the wheels is a bit different. Here's Edward, who I first shared in January 2023. He has an alternate tired expression, and I've modified his front bogie to better support the body so it doesn't bounce as much on the joints between track pieces. Edward also received the funnel update. Unfortunately, I haven't found a way to motorize him to run on his own, as his chassis doesn't have enough space for the Circuit Cube's motor, and the tender wheels just spin in place when powered due to insufficient weight and traction. Honestly, it doesn't bother me, as I find LEGO powered up rolling stock to be a much faster and better performing motorization method compared to the Circuit Cubes, which are somewhat slow and also tedious to install and remove. More on that later. My next engine is Gordon, revealed in July 2023 after a long design process during which I tackled all the engineering challenges of building a bigger engine. The only change I've made to the model is moving the funnel slightly back. It's hard to tell just by looking, but there's now enough space to place a lamp on top of his smoke box for headcoat purposes. For many of the same reasons as Edward, I haven't motorized Gordon to run on his own, instead opting to run him with motorized coaches. We've arrived at Henry, who I unveiled in April of this year, 2024, but actually completed much earlier at the very end of 2023. Obviously, I built him in his new shape, and much like Gordon, I've since moved his funnel slightly back. I also made his front end more accurate using a new LEGO slope piece. He's another engine who hasn't been motorized to run on his own. And now we're on to recent reveals from this summer. First we have Duck, who I unveiled in late June. I haven't changed anything since you saw him, and he is motorizable with circuit cubes. And finally Mavis, who I just shared in July. Another Circuit Cubes motorizable engine, and she shares Toby's method of gearing, enabling her to run at faster speeds. Those are the 9 standard gauge engines I've built to date, so we'll move on to the standard gauge rolling stock. Thomas and Toby will be our helpers. My first rolling stock was 2 troublesome trucks, revealed alongside Thomas and Percy in August 2021. Like those first 2 engines, I replaced the truck's original origami paper faces with vinyl stickers. I just recently built 2 new quarry trucks from the same design to accompany Mavis as well, bringing the total to 4. My next piece of rolling stock was my BR 20-ton brake van, built alongside James and revealed in May 2022. Not much else to say here. Henrietta was actually my first standard gauge coach, revealed with Toby in August 2022. Again, a pretty straightforward model, so we'll keep it moving. I revealed Annie and Clarabelle in January 2023, about a year and a half after Thomas. Annie was my first model that can be motorized with the LEGO Powered Up system, and as I mentioned, Powered Up rolling stock is definitely my preferred method of motorization over Circuit Cubes engines, as it's faster, easier to install and remove, and easier to access the battery hub. The only downside is that it does use batteries, but I can live with it. Since building the coaches, I've made minor structural adjustments to make Annie's roof easier to remove for battery access, and to make the windows more structurally sound on both coaches. Next, we have 3 BR Mark I Express coaches, 2 composite coaches, and 1 brake coach. I built these alongside Gordon for his reveal in July 2023. One of the composite coaches can be motorized with Powered Up to run at express speeds. I have updated that coach's roof to make it easier to remove to access the battery. We're on to my utility van, based on a TV series model which was in turn based on a Southern Railway design, but with added bogies. I'd completed the model by late 2023, and first showed it off with Henry this April. It too can be motorized with Powered Up, and again, I've updated the roof connections for easier removal. And here's my GWR Auto Coach, revealed in June alongside Duck. I intended to keep the model generic to represent any of the 4 identical auto coaches from the Railway series: Isabel, Dulcie, Alice, or Maribel. The auto coach is yet another Powered Up motorizable model. And that rounds out the standard gauge rolling stock, 13 models in total. We'll move over to the narrow gauge railway, starting with the engines. I unveiled my LEGO Skarloey in June 2022. I can modify his model to reflect changes in his appearance over the course of the Railway series, including his cabless look from very old engines. I've updated his funnel with the T-saucer part, adding detail, and removing the indents it had when I first built the model. I also made a minor change to the internal connection between the cab and boiler, which you can't really notice from the outside. In fact, I've made that update for all my narrow gauge saddle tank engines. I put together a minifigure of the thin controller at the same time I built these first narrow gauge characters. Next we have Rheneas, built and revealed at the same time as Skarloey. He too can be cabless as in very old engines, and he's received the same funnel update. We'll move on to Sir Handel, who I revealed in July 2022. I built him in red like the Railway series, and his buffers and cab area can be modified, mirroring changes he received over the course of the books. His funnel has been updated as well. And here's Rusty, who I built in Railway series black and revealed alongside Sir Handel. Honestly, I don't have much else to say, but a nice little model nonetheless. Peter Sam is my most recent narrow gauge engine, completed in late 2023 and just revealed this June. Like Sir Handel, I built him in Railway series red. I can give him his special funnel, or his original round funnel. His running board and buffers can be modified as in the Railway series books as well, and he's currently my only narrow gauge engine with an alternate face, a sad expression. I updated Peter Sam's round funnel along with the other engines. In addition to those 5 narrow gauge engines, I've also built 5 pieces of narrow gauge rolling stock. First we have my 2 narrow gauge coaches, revealed at the same time as Skarloey and Rheneas in June 2022. The first class coach would be Agnes from the Railway series, and the third class coach could represent Ruth, Lucy, or Jemima. And here are my 3 slate trucks. I revealed the tan trucks alongside Sir Handel and Rusty in July 2022. The dark tan truck was built much later, once LEGO actually started producing all the correct parts in that color, and I revealed it with my Peter Sam in June. With all the narrow gauge models covered, we'll move on to the roads for my last couple models. I revealed my LEGO Birdie in June 2023. The one change I've made since then was slightly moving up his headlights, allowing for a sturdier connection on his left side, or the right side from our view. And finally we have Terrence, built and revealed at the same time as Birdie. No changes to report since unveiling the model. Backtracking, we have 9 standard gauge engines, 13 pieces of standard gauge rolling stock, 5 narrow gauge engines, 5 pieces of narrow gauge rolling stock, and 2 road vehicles for a total of 34 models. It's crazy to see how much I've built in a 3-year time period. Thank you all for supporting my channel, whether through subscribing, commenting, purchasing the instructions I sell, or simply watching my videos. For those who have purchased my LEGO instructions, you've probably noted all the minor changes I've made to my models since first building them that I discussed in this video. I'll be slowly working on updating at least the digital model files on my Rubricable to match. So in due time you'll be able to incorporate those design tweaks if you so desire. And for everyone else curious about my plans for the future, Donald and Douglas will be my next LEGO models. Their reveal video should be ready later this month. Even more excitingly, I've begun planning for a big long-term project, a LEGO layout featuring a Railway series style Knapford station. This will be my first venture into building a location, and I think it would be really cool to finally have a Sodor site to run and display my models. Outside of LEGO, I'm also wrapping up filming for the next 8 stories of my Wooden Railway adaptations of the Railway series, so more of those will be on the way too. Take care, and I'll see you next time.